Welcome to Section 7, Troubleshooting Tips. When developing Angular apps with the Angular CLI, we can run into some common issues. In this section, we're going to go over general debugging techniques, compilation issues, networking issues, and finally, dependency issues. Let's get started. Debugging common scenarios. Debugging your code when running the development server is pretty easy, but we have to take a few things into account. As we know, the local files are being watched for changes, triggering a compilation when they happen, and then being updated in the browser. Along with the compiled JavaScript, we get special files called source maps. These files are referenced in annotations in the final JavaScript and help the browser tools map the generated JavaScript code to the original TypeScript. On the left, we have the source code for a simple app component. On the right, we can see inside the developer tools the generated JavaScript with the source map annotations. One of the most useful tools when we are debugging in the browser is the development tools debugger. I could click on one of these line numbers on that JavaScript file and have the browser stop execution when it gets to that point. It's much easier to do this in code though. Notice that single instruction inside of the constructor, that debugger statement? This debugger statement will stop the execution for you without having to dig into the JavaScript code to find the precise execution time you want to examine your app at. When you're paused in Debugger, you get to explore the local scopes on the panel on the right, as well as the call stack. The Developer Tools Debugger is a really powerful tool. As you can see here, the debugger is showing me the source TypeScript code because it has access to the source map that it was generated. When the app loaded and the execution got to this point, the debugger automatically paused the execution to show me the state of the app. As you can see, the debugger is not showing me JavaScript anymore, but it's showing me the original TypeScript code because it has access to the source map. If you ever need to debug a production application, you should enable source map generation for that environment. If you check the Angular configuration, by default, the production settings have disabled source map generation, and your browser won't be able to follow the JavaScript code back to TypeScript. Finally, when debugging Angular applications, having an overview of the component tree, the bound events, and the component states is really helpful. Augury is a browser extension that lets you do just that.